Hello, I'm Carl Miller, and I'll talk to you today about Eran Shalev's The Jewish Cincinnatus, Biblical Republicanism in the Age of the American Revolution. It's a chapter in his book, American Zion, the Old Testament as a Political Text from the Revolution to the Civil War. I will not rule over you, nor will my son rule over you. The Lord will rule over you. Judges 8:22 through 23. These were the words of Israelite Gideon when he refused to take the hereditary throne over the Israelite tribes following the war with the Canaanites. Gideon served as a model for George Washington to follow on his own role in stepping down from the presidency after he had served as a general in the Revolutionary War, and then served as president for 2 terms in office. Shalev's book, American Zion, takes the reader through numerous examples of how the American educated classes translated ideas to the average American person who was familiar with the Bible. Ideas like the example of Haman, who was an advisor to the Persian King and advised him to exterminate the Jews in his realm, were meant to demonstrate how King George III was likely not knowingly acting against the interests of the American people or against really the king's people. He was just taking the bad advice of his advisors. So this biblical text was translated to the American people, which was an idea of civic humanism that it was translated through a story in the Bible to make it easily understandable by the Americans. Another example is that of the sin of Morose. The Morosites stood by and would not help the Israelites fight when they were in trouble in battle. They did not actively do anything wrong, so the Morosites didn't do anything wrong actively, but they didn't do their duty to God. This story in the biblical text translated the idea to the American people that they should be concerned with the homegrown Tories that were in the colony. That the Tories, or people that would not actively resist the British, were actually acting against the will of God. An even larger example than that is that of Exodus. So the Americans were resisting tyranny, much like the Israelites were resisting the tyranny of Pharaoh. God smiled on this resistance that the Israelites conducted and ensured that they were successful. This gave the American Christians an example to demonstrate that resistance to tyranny was not against the word in the Bible, and it wasn't against God's word, and that they were therefore had a duty to resist the tyranny that the British were presenting. There are numerous examples that Shalev shows us inside of this chapter. His larger message is that the Americans were deeply religious people, steeped in the Bible, who could understand complex ideas in that of civic humanism in an easily translatable way through the use of metaphors and biblical references. It was the common tongue of America, since so many people had read the Bible and it distributed so widely, and they were so religious. We used the model of the Hebrew Republic as described in the Bible to build our American Republic. Thank you very much.